It was up out there on YouTube. I watched the Acolyte episode 3. I tried to give a review on it. I got like maybe a little bit into it, and then I realized that I don't care enough about this show to even give it a negative review. So my review is basically mostly me not really bitching, but just stating stuff about it. So if you check it out if you want to. But a bunch of people made videos on this, like a lot. So one of the videos I wanted to check out was Nerdrotic. So let's get into this. All right, here we go.
Previously on the Acolyte.
You do not want to go down this road.
Because you have been down there, Neo. You know that road.
Frozen meets Kill Bill. I'm curious what that means. Can we elaborate? Are we getting a musical?
You're not getting a musical.
Really? She just took scenes from stuff that worked and just stuck it in her crappy show. Interesting.
Seen a grown man naked?
Don't panic. On the belt line of the automatic pilot, there is a hollow.
The fact that they installed the robots in the seats and she didn't understand that autopilot is built into the ship. You don't actually need robots to physically fly the ship. I laughed my ass off when I saw that.
You pull it out and blow on.
Is it really you?
Hello, motherfucker.
Come and play with us, Daddy.
I didn't do it.
I don't care!
I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Pocket sand. Nerdrotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million awakening wonders and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. I have a question for you all. How do you kill something that's already dead? Well, between Disney Doctor Who and Disney Star Wars, it's a race to find out. I would argue Disney Doctor Who was ahead until the release of the infamous Acolyte Episode 3. We were warned this episode would break Star Wars. It would have major ramifications on the...
You know what? Actually, it didn't do that for me because like once I realized that the witches were in a cult, anything she said after that didn't matter. And I don't consider Disney Star Wars canon, so they can put out whatever they want and don't break it for me.
Force and destroy some more of George Lucas's lore, which it did. What we weren't warned about was this is the worst single episode of anything Disney Star Wars ever, including Boba Fett and Ahsoka. And it's
that I can attest to.
The perfect representation of the meme. Our expectations were low, but holy so kiss your loved ones, grab a helmet, and if you're a dude, put on a cup because we're going to talk about the Acolyte.
Interesting song choice.
Now, after the thrilling and engaging first 2 episodes where Carrie-Anne Moss Mothma was dispatched in under 5 minutes with a kitchen knife, which sets off a murder mystery featuring 2 identical twins, May and Osha, who have been separated for 16 years but still managed to have the same hairstyle. They are pursued by the guy from Squid Game and some incompetent Jedi, including X-23, Maurice Gibb, and Jedediah Beatties.
Anger is not
Okay. That's wrong.
the way of the jet.
You okay?
So after getting to know Osha and May, identical twins played by Amandla Stenberg the exact same way without changing her facial expression, it's time to spend the entire episode 3 of an 8 roughly half-hour each episode series with a flashback that she's not even in. We start out 16 years earlier on the planet Brendok with young May and Osha, who are played by sisters who will eventually grow up to be identical.
We're twins.
And they live in hiding in a giant stone structure on top of a mountain run by an all...
Yeah, so that's what they were hiding in. A giant eyesore in the middle of a forest that you could probably see for miles in any direction.
Female coven of witches.
What could possibly go wrong?
And this all-female coven filled with just a few dozen people must have accomplished architects, engineers, and stonemasons. Did they just run across this fully operational stone structure base on the top of a mountain, considering they mentioned they only recently arrived at the planet?
Any sign of the visiting Jedi?
None. Our scouts think they've moved their ship inland.
I told you this planet would be safe haven for our coven.
Don't
Yeah, and they go and pick the most obvious spot to hide in. Awesome.
No, but that's the least of this show's problems. Immediately, we learn that young May wants to become a witch and young Osha does not, as they prepare for their ascension into the all-female coven of indoctrinators. Admittedly, on brand for Disney. And Leslie Headland doesn't waste any time taking George Lucas's lore into Harvey's office. Because this all-female coven of witches that's totally not the Night Sisters wields the power of not the Force, the thread.
The what now?
I know you remember Yoda's speech from The Empire Strikes Back describing...
Because you're about to get the Cliff Notes version of it.
...the Force.
For my ally is the Force. And a powerful ally it is. Life creates it. Makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us. And binds us. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter.
It appears it needed to be updated for a modern audience.
All living things are connected by the same thread. A thread woven through all of existence.
Right. So it looked like she saw a TikTok version of the Yoda speech and decided to, I'm just going to copy that and change a few things in it and then pat myself on the back like I came up with something. This is where I realized that these people are a cult and anything she says doesn't matter.
Some call it a force and claim to use it. But we know the thread is not a power you wield. Pull the thread, change everything. It ties you to your destiny. It binds
Yeah, that's pseudoscience BS.
you to others.
And right after Mother Anastasia says that the thread is not a power you wield, she wields the power. Now, apparently...
Okay. That's nice.
The thread is some gobbledygook having to do with the power of one or two or many, and Mother Anastasia demonstrates this by showing the power of one, which is force pushing one woman, or showing the power of two, which is force pushing two women, and I'm guessing the power of many is pushing many women.
All I know is that dyke can play.
And after one of the girls' mothers, Mother Anastasia, pushes them to the ground to where they almost hit their head on the steps, the other mother, Coral, hears a noise from the computer room. Is it the Jedi they've already acknowledged they know is on the planet, or is it a computer malfunction because they have no men for IT?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing? You're having
Okay. All right.
problem with your computer.
And after another scene about the two girls arguing about the Ascension, Mother Anastasia explains what it is.
Ascension is about walking
Yeah, them two girls fighting got old real quick. Like, really quick.
through fear. It is about sacrificing a part of yourself, the power of many, instead of the power of one.
No offense, but it sounds like some commie gobbledygook.
Then we get a heavy dose of modernity.
The galaxy is not a place that welcomes women like us.
Yes, the message.
Yeah, it does. If you ever read any book in Star Wars, you would understand that there are very many types of beings who are entered into very many types of relationships that of every type. There's people who like huts, and it's weird to some people, but it is well accepted in the Star Wars universe for the most part. So this is, once again, evidence that this person has no idea about Star Wars.
Just strong with this one, and we're just getting started. And just in case you weren't convinced in the previous two scenes that Osha doesn't want to become a witch and May does, they show you again. And this is where we find out this very peaceful all-female covenant of witches is hunted.
And this is when we arrive at Wakanda.
And persecuted by who? The Republic? The Jedi?
Tonight we enact a ceremony we have not performed since our exile. We were hunted, persecuted, forced into hiding, all because some would consider our power dark, unnatural. We were on the brink of extinction.
What the hell was that? Okay, what was that, like a monkey? What? I have no words.
What the hell was that?
Right.
And if that wasn't bad enough, we finally arrived to the cringe part. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Disney Star Wars.
Power of one, the power of two.
Disney theater kids.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
If you learn anything about like how they make this stuff, the amount of people that this has to go through to okay it is a lot. And nobody thought this was cringe. Like nobody, which I find hard to believe. Yeah.
You know, I've seen something like this before. So the ascension ceremony starts, and May is imbued with the purple ball of energy force of the thread, but then they are interrupted by the Jedi before Osha could get her purple ball of energy force of the thread.
Okay, I just noticed something. All right, the size of that fortress is huge. They're clearly on the roof. So that means that the Jedi came in through the bottom and walked all the way through this entire fortress and then get stopped by nobody. Like, how does that happen? Because they actually have guards. Because like after this scene, you see some of the guards, they have weapons, and they just walked up in there like they own the place.
And I would be remiss if I didn't point out something historic just happened. From the time the title card hit after Soul's very brief appearance spying on the children in the beginning of the episode, 13 minutes and 13 seconds passed without a man being on screen.
Yes, yes.
Pretty easy to figure out when you're watching a good show. It's got a world you buy into. You generally know where you are in that world. You know how much time has passed.
With this show, you have no idea about any of that stuff.
Characters you're invested in, being consistent and making logical decisions. Everything.
Logical decisions. Okay.
The Acolyte isn't. So this is the point where things make even less sense. The Jedi claim they thought the planet was uninhabited despite breaking into a fortress. They also claim that they're not there to steal children.
The Jedi do not take children.
Yeah,
you speak any English?
Then Obi-Wan Trinity states you cannot deny a Jedi testing future Padawans, except when you can.
With your permission, of course.
But here comes the big one. You thought Anakin Skywalker was special with his immaculate midichlorian conception? Haha, that's nothing.
And I thought that was dumb, and this is even dumber.
Where is their father?
They have no father.
And later we find out why.
If you are trying to hide that, why would you tell anybody that? Because that would cause them to investigate, because this would be unusual. So, yeah.
I carried them. I created them.
You heard that right. 2 women through the power of the the thread conceived.
Keep in mind, it's a cross species type stuff. So they're human. The kids look human. Why would you put them in an alien whose body chemistry and her, like, the way that she gets, like, how they have children would be probably is going to be different from how humans have children. And then afterwards, she may not even be able to actually breastfeed these kids. So I don't know why you would not even think about this. Why not put it in the actual human and make the other one say that? I'm just saying.
Twin girls.
Hello, Masha. Hello, Fasha. Masha Ruten. Vista Masha. In the Fasha. Vista Masha.
And you would think with an entire episode that's a flashback that you get some context as to why May wants to kill the 4 Jedi. And I guess in a way you do. This episode confirms that the Jedi are complete idiots and that they're there to steal children. Other than that, everything goes down the way they said in the first 2 episodes. Osha and May are tested. May fakes her test. Osha doesn't because she wants to become a Jedi. May feels betrayed.
And she's the only honest person in this entire group. At least that's what it looks like.
Betrayed and wants to keep her sister there by killing her.
It's not up to you. You can't stop me. Yes, I can. How? I'll kill you.
Yeah, she went from 0 to 100 real quick. Now, you already showed that she was kind of sociopathic at the beginning of the episode because she was torturing animals, and her sister says, why do you do that all the time? That is something that serial killers do. So I don't know why you would show that, but, you know.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Then May sets a fire that spreads rapidly in the stone structure. It blows up the giant computer banks, I'm not really sure what they were, that may or may not have been sabotaged. The guy from Squid Game manages to save Osha, but he's unable to save May, who falls off a bridge, and he never bothers to check on the body.
He was close enough where he could have used the Force to catch both children if he wanted to. He just chose not to. And when Osha was falling, instead of catching her with the Force, is which he did in the first episode, he just ran and jumped and caught her. Why he did that, I don't know.
And the entire all-female coven of witches is killed in the incredibly fast-spreading fire in a stone structure. Too bad there weren't any men around to set up any fire safety protocols. The incompetent Jedi end up getting one of the two children they were going to steal, and we find out that May is indeed alive, something we knew because we saw her in the first 2 episodes. Lesbian.
And she had not a scratch on her at all, even though given some of the shots that they've shown, that was a very large distance, and she was falling on top of a steel structure that had jagged edges. So how she survived without getting any nicks or anything, I don't know.
In conception, the Force is now a thread, which gives credence to the Acolyte poster memes. Sounds like modern Lucasfilm. Yep, that was the worst episode of Disney Star Wars on D+. Is it the worst series? Time will tell. This is how creativity dies, to thunderous apathy. 20 years ago, if you told me that people would not only hate Star Wars, which is still a form of caring, they would move into not caring, I would have thought you were crazy. But here we are. As the Acolyte is currently sitting at a 24% audience score, the lowest rated live action Star
I think I saw somebody said that it's down to 19 now.
Star Wars ever, according to Inverse. Well, it's not Disney's fault. The Acolyte isn't ruining Star Wars.
It's
you are.
Oh, f off.
Last time I checked, my name wasn't in the credits. Was yours? Many have said it before, and I'll say it again, as it was reiterated by The Wrap just today. Star Wars was a male brand everyone could enjoy, mutated into a female brand no one can enjoy. So as the House of Mouse simultaneously flushed
the way Star Wars has been passed on to the next generation is fathers grow up liking Star Wars. They go into their adulthood. They share their love for Star Wars with their children. Not all of their children are going to like it, but some of them will. The ones who do grow up and repeat the cycle. So that's how you are a very strong IP for 40 years.
Flushes 2 beloved franchises, Doctor Who and Star Wars, down the bottomless toilet. One thing is abundantly clear. Everyone hates the Acolyte and Disney hates Star Wars. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you heard, I thank you for listening.
All right. Okay. Yeah. That pretty much, yeah, I share the same sentiment. And I've watched a bunch of these things and we all kind of agree on the same stuff. We have drifted into apathy because the opposite of love is not hate, it is apathy. When you hate something, you still have feelings for it. When you are apathetic towards it, you don't care. And that is what most Star Wars fans are heading down into, not caring. I have hundreds of books to read that I didn't read. Like, there's a lot. In an extended universe, I have all of that to read. There's comics, there's cartoons, there's all kind of stuff. And they had the original 3 that I like. No, the original 3 that I love. The prequels, I like them. Especially after the Disney stuff, I like them a lot more now. So it is what it is. I don't plan on watching episode 4, but if someone puts out a review on it, I may check that out just to see what happens in kind of passing by. All right, so please like, share, and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And I am out. Peace.